not open to much. I mean, change in itself is difficult, I believe, for everybody.
Yeah.
Um, so, if you're struggling with change and you don't have people around that would support those ideas, you don't know anybody that's been through some of these things and used it and saw the immediate effect.
Mm.
Yeah, so it would be, difficult to support something like that.
Dang.
But I would say, what do you have to lose?
Yeah.
If you're miserable, fuck it.
It,
Try it. It might not be. And if it doesn't work, guess what? You're still miserable. You're used to it, right? That's where you're at. So, I
exactly.
mean, that's it. I mean, if we want to be real about it, I mean,
Yeah.
why not just try it
But
and just see how it goes?
that's the other thing, right? The fact that, how can I put this? We, and when I say we, I was some of us can get so comfortable with our self-created prison that it's like, oh yeah, although I see what you're saying and I believe what you're saying, I don't deserve it, or you know what I'm saying. Still have the reservation that maybe perhaps it wouldn't work for them, or um, overall just not gonna work at the end. No matter what, there's that belief that it's not for them, not gonna work, not this.
Yeah.
And then there's a lot of people, for example, that don't know much about it, don't know, it's that, oh, that's that hippie shit. That's the, um, you know what I'm saying? That is the tree hugging stuff. And although some people
There's a
see
reason
it,
they're hugging trees.
yeah,
There's a reason they were doing what they were doing.
yeah,
You know, and when you really look at a lot of things, the way society is constructed, they're gonna deter you from doing hippie shit because that's what's gonna actually help you and further your evolution as a human being.
mm,
And that's what I'm saying. Like, there's so many books out there that goes into consciousness and our physiology and how we should be eating and the importance of fasting and all those things that is not discussed, is not encouraged, and is frankly frowned upon. All of those things are what's going to be better for us in the long run.
mm,
But no, you're right though. You know, it's just funny the crab in the barrel mentality.
yeah. The other thing too, right, is the hive mindset, and once it gets to a certain level, right, it's gonna attract way more, right? Once people see who's involved and how it's working, even when they don't believe, simply because the numbers are so getting big, they involve themselves because all of us humans want to be part of a group, and so people join without really believing, and then by doing end up believing, and that's how I believe things end up growing. So although it's maybe difficult right now to get everybody kind of jumping up and down for the things that we're talking about, I know in my heart that the community is going to grow. I know that the wellness center is going to be a huge hit, and people are going to be celebrating themselves, for most importantly, for doing and accepting the tools that we've been putting out, for a long time. So it's definitely coming, man, and more and more people. Most importantly, in my opinion, as long as you and I, continue to live we're saying, that is going to play a big key factor on this succeeding, right? And so, um,
I was gonna say I don't think you can not live it and get the results, the
mm,
true results. And that's where I was saying that that's where belief, but also within that belief is that commitment to yourself. Because, like you said, if it's a hive mind and it's catchy, it's trendy, I want to be in, but you're not going to get much out of it if you're in just to be in. Are you in for growth for yourself, to see different sides of you never saw, to believe in yourself in a level that you never believed you could, to start really understanding where you fit in the structure of the universe, like and within earth, like those are so many different levels
mm,
of that awareness we're talking about, because there's infinite possibilities, there's multiple dimensions, there's so much going on. And when you start to think that and you look at your life individually, it's a speck of really what's truly going on. Like you're just another piece of dust
Baron
added
791,
to
thank you for
everything
the
that's
great
going
support and
on. So
content you create. Appreciate
collectively,
you.
we're this humongous organism of understanding and love and trying to figure out how do we, and again, these are my opinions,
mm,
trying to figure out how to love ourselves, because I believe everyone you meet is a reflection of yourself.
mm,
So every day you're in situations where your patience is tested, your humility is tested, your gratitude is tested, your temper is tested, um, and they're all challenges to make you look at yourself. And if we started treating ourselves and loving ourselves the way we should, I don't see how it's difficult to do it to someone else.
mm,
But if I'm already hyper or really critical of my own self, I judge myself, I talk bad about myself, I look at myself in a different light, how much easier is it for me to do that to someone else? If I'm already in a state of fear, how much easier is it to go about my life and be like, I don't talk to that group of people because I'm scared of this, or I don't go out at night to these areas because this may happen. And
mm,
you know what I'm saying? Like it's truly our thoughts, our words do create our reality. And when you start looking at things and no longer look at positives and negatives and wrongs and rights, and they're just experiences, and you start understanding, I should be trying everything to see where my passion may be. I should be meeting and trying to meet everybody to understand what I believe are those differences, where really it's just ignorance,
mm,
fear of what I don't know. Where if you just sit down, we're humans, we're all dealing with the same shit. We're all trying to eat, we're all trying to understand ourselves, we're all trying to be in relationships and understand or find out why I am getting love or why I can't get love or why is it so hard to be loved. We're all asking the same things, but yet we all want to be individuals and be so different. But in reality, we're not.
mm.
We just need to come to the realization that it's about us and loving and understanding us. And the sooner we do that, it's easier to do it for everyone else. You know, I and that's what I believe. Just like I really believe we allow people to frustrate us, but really it's we're frustrated because there may be something we're not liking
Mm.
about us or what we hear within ourselves. So we're blaming someone else, but it's really now our insecurity or our ego that knows it's something we need to work on, but we're not willing to accept we need to work on it. It's just amazing to me, like when you really sit down and start looking at yourself and asking those questions and finding out, why did I get mad?
Mm.
Why is this so important to me? Why do I have to be right? Why, and it's like you're ruining relationships. You're causing chaos for something that truly doesn't matter. Because at the end of the day, everybody's reality is their own, and you can't tell somebody it's wrong. You just can't. Now, clearly, there's that one golden rule, you don't murder or kill someone, and I think you shouldn't maliciously try to go out of your way to hurt people's feelings or make them feel some type of way. That's just my opinion again. But a lot of times we take offense to people just genuinely being honest, and they had no intention of it being a negative thing. But because we're already in a state of mind or we're already insecure, we take it that way and we hold it against them instead of saying, wait a minute, let me ask this person. And some people will be honest, some people may not. But you can kind of tell when people are genuine and when they're not genuine. And if you feel that they're not, then guess what? It's easy just to no longer deal with these people at particular times and moments, you
Mm.
know? So yeah, yeah. There's my tangent again of just going off, but those are the things like for me in my mind that I think of and go through is just, is it worth having an opinion? Why is it affecting me? And that's why I was trying to get to see if you had thought about it. When you get those thoughts, why are those thoughts coming in? Like, what is the root
Mm.
of that? And once you start kind of realizing that, you can kind of peel that onion back, and you'll realize there's so many other things, but there's one common denominator, and it's usually some type of fear or insecurity, at least for me.
No,
I can only say.
I totally agree. I think for me, right, I learned that through taking CBT, and DBT courses. Learning about that is cognitive behavioral therapy
Sun 1CX.
and cognitive. Anyway, one of the practices, catch it, something, change it, right? And the point is to hold on, what is this thought? Where is this thought coming from? What am I feeling from this thought? Is it rational, irrational? Where, and what is the, or ultimately you get to the origin, and the origin of the feeling, is it transferred from a previous experience? And is it really out of control, or can you change it, right then and there? And the process is very simple, very easy to do. And for me, that has helped in quite a bit in my life. As far as the helping myself to help others, for me, that was a hard thing to learn, especially because I want to do more for others than I do for myself. And I thought that's how you helped people, when I realize now that if I'm not okay, if I don't know how to help myself first, I have no business helping other people.
True.
And I'm not giving the correct love that they deserve. If I really truly love them, I'm gonna give them the best of myself. And if I'm at, running at a 10% or whatever it is, I'm not giving the best version to them, or the world. And that isn't fair for myself nor them as well. And so now, with you and other people that I have in my life, they encourage my healing process, And rather than having to worry about them or teaching other people, people are learning from my experience. People are coming to me now asking me certain questions about how I do certain things or where do I get XYZ, what kind of apps am I using, da 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 da. And that has become a whole lot easier mission than saving the world. I'm not Superman and I can't save the world, but I can share my experience, and in turn, the world can learn how to change themselves. And so for me, I'm there with you, my brother. I'm definitely there with
I
you.
was gonna ask you too, do you believe some of before the frustration, disappointment was because you had an expectation?
Most definitely. Most definitely. Especially when I have my good days and I'm able to walk 4 miles, 10 miles, and, sightsee because I'm in Portugal and da 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 da. Well, now that I know that I'm able to do that, I should be able to do that every single day and da da da. You know what I'm saying? And now that expectation becomes
Well,
my downfall.
I was more referring to like when you were trying to help people. Like,
That as well,
was it
yeah.
more of a disappointment, frustration because the energy wasn't reciprocated, or you believe they should be doing this, or they weren't grateful at all? Like,
A mixture of things. I mean, a variety, and then every situation had its own thing. But for example, for me, the idea of somebody always asking me for advice, and they come to me and they're like, I'm having this issue, and what should I do? Oh, you want to lose some weight, change your diet, and do some movement. Okay, and then watch them do the opposite, and then still be mad at me for nothing changing in their life when I gave first of all, it was just my opinion. Second of all, you didn't do anything that I suggested, and now you're still up. So I took that personal when I don't have to. Other occasions are when some people uh, are not willing to put in the work that they need to put in the work to them for them to change. And because I've had the experience that I was trying to help somebody and their life was lost due to their inability to change and save themselves, I took that personally. And now, ever since then, I felt inadequate to help anybody because I lost somebody under my care. And that was in my head, right? I lost somebody that I was in charge of, I was responsible for, and because they passed, they couldn't make it. Now I am a horrible person. I can't teach anybody. I can't help anybody. I can't, right? And that was another strong reason why I quit helping, quit giving advice, quit doing all that stuff, human connection. Yeah, I took that very heavy in my heart.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, man, and that's why it goes back. It, it goes back to that personal accountability.
Yeah.
Like, I, I or no one else can change what you want or what you see for yourself. That's something you're gonna have to do.
Yeah.
And again, that's why I said a lot of people like ideas of things. They're not ready for the commitment or that discipline that it may take.
Mm.
And it's crazy because once you make a few changes, that task now eventually will be a habit sooner than later, and then that habit is now a routine. And if you stick with it, but your months go by, everything that you were looking to do, you probably would have achieved
Mm.
if you were just open and minded enough and just suck it up. And I don't mean it in a negative way, but it's like you have to give up something to get something.
Yeah.
If you want a new body and it's years of not treating it well, it's going to take a little longer to get it back in shape and functional to where you would like.
Yeah.
So those first, 90 days, maybe even 6 months will be challenging and rough, but you have the ability to do it,
Mm.
you know? And it just goes back to those things is, and that's not a good, I guess, word to say, like suck it up, because obviously they told us that in the military, suck it up, buttercup,
Yeah, yeah.
take this Motrin and this and that. So definitely, I don't want to come off insensitive, but you also have to be realistic, and you have to understand that depending on what it is you want to change or the challenge or obstacle that's in front,
Mm-hmm.
have to be honest with yourself of what it is you're trying to achieve, the timeline, and is this something I really want? Because a lot of times, I know for me, a lot of little goals and things I had, those weren't even my ideas. It's just what people were saying, or what the norm was, or this job gave you more money, or this degree puts you in a better position when you get out. So I'm in a field, I'm doing all these things because I think I'm supposed to, or it's gonna put me, but I'm miserable the whole time because I'm not interested. It's not my idea. It's not what I want to do. But I think that's what people want to hear. And if I do these things, they'll be happy for me, or my parents will
Mm.
be proud of, what I'm doing. And I had to kind of let all that go because it really doesn't matter what those people think. It doesn't matter what my parents think. Honestly, at the end of the day, it's really how I feel about me, where I'm at, and what I'm doing. And that is so powerful when you truly can sit there and not care who likes it, who loves it, who's on board, who's not on board, if it's going to be successful, if it's going to be a flop, if it's a good thing or bad thing, or because you take all those questions in your head, they're removed
Mm.
because you're just in that process open. If this person takes it negatively, I didn't mean it that way. So whose problem is it? Mine or theirs? Theirs. Because I didn't do that. That's not what I was trying to do. And
Yeah.
now if you want to argue with me, that's fine. I'm not going to argue with you. I can go somewhere else. You know? So it is.
Yeah.
It truly is starting to be easy to navigate how things are. I'm getting critiqued, oh, you could have done this better. How so? Well, this, and this. Okay, I see your point. Yeah, I'll write that down because you know what? They had a valid point. If I don't agree with them, I'll just say, no, this was my thought process. And that's that. They want
Mm.
to argue about it. What do I do? Okay, cool. I go off and I go do something else because it's no, you get to a point where you realize like my time is valuable and I should no longer be entertaining it with trying to prove or validate points with people that aren't even open minded in the first place.
Mm.
You see what I'm saying? Like if you're
Yeah.
not open and on the level that I'm trying to do and have conversations and expand my consciousness, my mindset, my ability to love and connect and give love, and not only give it but actually be willing to receive it, because that's a hard thing to receive love too.
Mm.
That's a very challenging area, at least for myself. Um, so it's like you have to be able to start realizing, a lot of people are not in good places, and you can't save everyone, but the one person you can save is yourself. Like ultimately, it's you. So if you take that time to understand yourself, to me, a huge superpower is to enjoy your own company,
Mm.
to be able to laugh at yourself, to be able to watch a movie, go out to eat by yourself. Spend that time to get to know you. So when someone is there, you can appreciate the connection, but you're not codependent. You don't need somebody to validate your existence. That's you doing that for yourself.
Yeah.
And those are just things, that I'm starting to realize is really important. And when you can grasp it, understand it, and then start to apply it, that's when you really start seeing those changes with not in no not only in your life but just in your mindset, your thought process.
Mm.
And it's amazing how those emotions change and those fears and insecurities kind of just dissipate because you're starting to realize most of what we are concerned with, most of what we worry about doesn't matter.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter, man. Honestly, half the shit we run around, we trying to compete, compare. No one fucking cares.
Yeah.
Truthfully, it just doesn't. Like there's so much things that's so much like so big and enormous, and we over here worrying about little scraps and things that's actually relevant to our growth, our awareness, our ability to evolve. Like it is. I can go on forever, so I'm gonna let you talk, man. 'Cause
No, I hear you. And it's overall that's what elevated wisdom is about. Having these conversations, having this platform to be able to get what's in our hearts and our minds out. Right now it's us, and we'll be welcoming people coming in soon, having their perspective in lives. And like you said earlier, we're all correct in our perspective because that's what we're experiencing, and it's a honor and a pleasure for me personally to be here listening to your perspective and your experience in life. It's always it always keeps me thinking about my own things. And it's funny you say earlier you were mentioning about like commenting and saying my personal opinions and things, and it's like, is it worth it, right? For me, when you were talking about that, I in my mind had this feeling I needed to be like, let's use I statements. You statements make me feel XYZ, so it might make the audience feel XYZ. So let's use I statements rather than you statements. And then after you're talking about it, and we realize that that's it. Those are the thoughts. That is it. What is it valuing, right? Is it really necessary to take the attention away from the point that you were making by bringing the attention to let's make I statements? You know what I mean? It did not seem at all, now looking back, at all appropriate and necessary more than anything. So I'm glad that I didn't pursue that train of thought then, and the reason why I bring it up now is I feel that it ties it all well together. It's not
yeah,
intrusive. It's over after you what you have been putting out your points and whatnot. So that is a skill that is hard to practice in a healthy conversation. Active listening, listening to what you're saying, not listening to respond, but listening to the points, and then trying to make mental notes and remembering that, oh yeah, after they're done point making their points, remember to bring talk about this, or I felt about this, or my perspective on this, rather than in the middle of you cutting you off, and where a conversation then can get sidetracked, or overall lose its purpose, right? And so now us practicing that is allowing me to do that more effectively, and I think vice versa as well. We both very, back in the day, very intrusive when it came to conversations because we wanted to be heard, and we needed to state our opinions and allow people to hear us and see us, and
I was
that does
hard.
not. Me too, man.
I
But
was
we're
hard.
transcending, man. We are transcending, and that's the thing that I love about it. So we are coming here towards the end of the hour. We're over the hour, but because of the issues, we quit streaming on Kick, and we continued on X, on believe we have Facebook and YouTube, so we can get the clips for YouTube or from YouTube for later on. And yeah, man, I want to thank you for your time. I want to thank you for your experiences and your authenticity to be here today and share your opinions and your thoughts and be vulnerable enough to be here with me and do this thing we call life together, my brother. Again, I'm very excited. Merch store coming out Monday, 12 a.m. Eastern Time. We'll have some products available immediately. The first line will be out for the first quarter, and then the second line will be coming out as well with some extra things. And yeah, I'm very excited for the future. Got a lot of more IRL streams coming and other things as well. I feel like you, Ahmad, you've been very busy in learning the video making, so I'm very excited to see the videos you come up with soon. And I'll be checking the Manan affiliates YouTube page has been growing. I'm happy to see. If you haven't checked it out, go by a Manan affiliates YouTube page. We're constantly posting that on a daily. Great information, great
We
content
got
to
short,
uplift. Yeah.
regular videos, of all sorts, and it's basically over, just motivational, inspirational quotes, thought provoking quotes, and videos on, spreading positivity, laughter, the importance and significance, just things to kind of change, like we were talking about, that perspective of how you see life.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, newcomers, new subscribers are always welcome.
Indeed, indeed. You know, we keep up with the info, the constant info that we put out, and soon to come out even more. So stay tuned. Big things coming for all of us, and it'll be available. And if you join up with the communities, you'll be the first to know when things are coming out and the things that we got going on as well. So always happy and great things. Thank you for being here. Thank you for you guys' time and patience with that on and off situation. As always, life will gonna throw you lemons, but you make a sweet, sweet lemonade out of it and enjoy your time. So thank you for keeping me in the moment, Ahmad, and enjoying this another episode 4 down the books.
Yeah, and before I let everybody, or before we go, we will continue to and improve in this area so we can have a smooth, seamless stream.
Indeed, indeed, I agree.
Now, um, just between me and you, I will talk to our sound producer guy and everything. He's not to get fucking fired. He don't know it yet, but
He's on the line. He's on the line. I've had enough. I've had enough. Oh
fucking
snap.
tired of this shit.
Oh snap, man. Well, good laugh, my brother. Thank you for being here. And yes, do you have anything else?
No, that's it, man. Until next time, keep being you and love the life that you live, man.
That's it. Remember to choose
Your
happiness, my
life.
friends.
Yeah.
Indeed. All right, we're out of here. Have a good night.
Thank you for joining us and have a good night. Lead with love, take time to laugh, and never stop learning. Thank you for joining us and have a good night. Lead with love, take time to laugh, and never stop learning. Thank you for joining us and have a good night. Lead with love, take time to laugh, and never stop learning.